joking, but this year, that's the honest truth. Who else would you want out there?
When you look at what he's done so far this season, right? Last time out against Milwaukee, where he didn't go deep into the game, 4 2/3, 2 earned runs. He had the back-to-back starts where he allowed 4 runs against Chicago and Baltimore, and he only went 5 innings. 6 innings of 1-run ball against the Mets, the 7 scoreless against the Braves that we just mentioned, and then in his first start of the year, he went 5 innings, one run wasn't earned against the Dodgers. He's 3-0 with a 2.50 ERA so far this season. He has been the Diamondbacks' best pitcher. He has been the Diamondbacks' ace. He's the guy I'm least worried about. So I expected him to give the Diamondbacks a good chance to win last night. And that's why it doesn't really change the concern level that we all should have around this team. Because you want to see it from Ryan Nelson. You want to see it from Zach Gallen. You want to see it from Merrill Kelly. You need to see it from everybody else in the rotation before you are a believer that they have put this behind them. Now, it wasn't just Erod last night. Shout out to the offense. Yesterday, we gave you all the statistics, how they hit for a decent average, but they don't have a high on-base percentage. They drew 7 walks in the game, 6 of them off of Bubba Chandler, doing a great job of being patient last night. You look at what the top 4 guys in the lineup did. 3 of the 4 had at least 2 RBIs. All 4 of them had at least 1 RBI. So, Geraldo Perdomo, Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll. Last night, it was Adrian Del Castillo hitting in that 4 spot. The top 4 of your lineup producing for you. You got 2 good innings out of your bullpen, and you completed a shutout last night against the Pittsburgh Pirates. We should feel good about that. Snap the 4-game losing streak. That is a good thing. A reminder of what this team actually can do when they put it all together, because I'll tell you what, last night's game is not usually the recipe that the Diamondbacks have been following to win this season. When we were talking yesterday about the 4-game losing streak and what they could do to get out of it, what we were more concerned about, whether it was the pitching or whether it was the offense. The part that made it hard to decide is that you couldn't really picture how the Diamondbacks were going to regularly win baseball games. And I was thinking about this on my drive home yesterday. Could you see the Diamondbacks winning games 3-2 right now? I know they've been great in 1-run games so far this season. But with the way that the starting pitching has been over the last couple of weeks, could you see them winning a 3-2 game last night? No.
Before last night, their last combined turn through the rotation, the ERA was above 10.
So you didn't expect them to be able to prevent runs. So if they were going to win games, you felt like it was going to be the 9-8 variety, right? Well, offensively, everyone's kind of been going through it. And so you weren't sure that they were going to be able to score 9 runs like they did last night. And Eric over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel, I think, has the comment that sums up this entire segment. The Diamondbacks were scoring runs, had a quality start, had a lefty come in and close out the game. Who is this team? I mean, that blueprint last night is not something they've done at all this season.
No.
A lefty coming out of the bullpen, a dominating starting pitching performance, your offense scoring 9 runs, a shutout, a blowout. I mean, you felt extremely relaxed and comfortable last night watching this team play baseball.
100%.
Just not something that you thought they would be able to do in the middle of their struggles, in the middle of, unless it's Eduardo Rodriguez, the rotation you're nervous about. An offense that you're nervous about right now. You expect it to turn the corner. You expect Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll and Geraldo Perdomo and Gabby Moreno. You expect those guys to hit more towards the back of their baseball cards. And you expect those guys to lead this offense. And you expect the numbers for the offense to be better. But right now, it's not happening. In addition to the rotation struggling. In addition to a bullpen that is very, very taxed. You had a day off on Monday. You only had to use 2 arms last night. So you are fresh and ready to go for the remainder of this series. And I'll tell you, You said it to me this morning. They had to win that game last night because you're facing Paul Skeens tonight. And no offense to the Arizona Diamondbacks, but most of the time when you're going up against Paul Skeens, you're not the favorite. You're not the favorite when you face Paul Skeens. Now, they had this earlier in the year when they faced Tarek Skubal. They were able to get to him. They won that game 1-0. So they can do it.
Get to him feels like a stretch.
They won. They beat Tarek Skubal, okay? Zach Allen won the pitcher's duel that day. But you don't feel like you are in a position that you're the favorite tonight against Paul Skeens, which is why you felt like you needed to win last night. Because if you lose last night, it's 5 games in a row. Now you're facing Paul Skeens. You can very easily see the writing on the wall for it to being 6 games in a row. So last night wasn't a must win, but you really wanted that game last night. And I'll tell you, you just loved the way that it went down.
It did feel like, to this point, the Diamondbacks game with the most impact. And when I mean that, you said, didn't feel like a must win, but you really wanted it. That's what I'm kind of alluding to. It did feel like the biggest one that they've played to this point. Just because of you're coming off a 4-game losing streak. You have not been swept since the opening series of the year. A lot of those stuff, or a lot of those things built up for the Diamondbacks. And for the first time this year, you were worried about things, and it wasn't one. It wasn't just the staff or just the lineup. Everything was going wrong at the same time, and they needed to get on track as a starting pitching unit, as a lineup, as a bullpen. They've been pretty good, but really used. And you were able to kind of weave all those pieces together and really look good offensively, look good situationally at the plate. And then obviously Erod gives you a start like that, and you just feel a little bit better because of how things have gone recently. But you're right. It's one game. Let's see how your at-bats look tonight against Paul Skeens.
It's funny because we use this term in baseball to describe a pitcher going 27 up and 27 down. But last night was a perfect game for the Diamondbacks. I mean, it just was. You got a great start from Eduardo Rodriguez, not only because he threw up zeros, but he went 7 innings because he went to Torey Lovello and said, I want this guy. Don't take me out of the game. I want this guy. And then he got him. You only had to use 2 bullpen arms, and you were able to save your high leverage arms because your offense scored 9 runs. They were extremely patient. They drew 7 walks last night, 6 of them in the first 5 innings off of the starter, Bubba Chandler. You put together about as perfect of a game as this team can play right now, and at a time where they desperately needed it. Their longest losing streak of the year. You got Paul Skeens that you're facing in the series. You needed that game last night, and it is a sigh of relief that it looked as good as it did last night. But yes, it cannot just be a one-off. And Erod's the guy that you would expect to pitch this well. So I'm not willing to say all is good. They've turned the corner. Things are fine. Things are going to look like they did after the Dodger series to start the year. No. I still think this team is in survival mode, not in thrive mode. Last night didn't change that for me. Last night was good. Last night was a sigh of relief. Last night was much needed, but there needs to be more. And hopefully, you win tonight against Skeens. Now you're starting to build some real momentum.
100%. And I think we've been talking about this Skeens start like it's a loss already. Doesn't mean it is. No. But when you circle a Mike Soroka, Paul Skeens start, you think they might get the best of you in that one. But winning last night changes the vibes, because if you lose tonight after, if you lost last night, you're talking about being 3 games under 500. And if you lose tonight in the Paul Skeens start, okay, we're 1 game under 500, no reason to panic.
And what did we say yesterday? Just make sure you don't get swept. Win a game and set yourself up to win a rubber match. That's exactly what you did. If you lose tonight against Paul Skeens, you have a chance on Thursday, tomorrow afternoon, to win the rubber match and take this series. And guess what? You'll take it right now. The Diamondbacks, their last series win was the middle of April when they took 2 out of 3 against Toronto. That also is the last time they've won back-to-back games. You have to go all the way back to the 4-game winning streak that they had, the end of the Baltimore series through the first 2 games of the Toronto series, to find a stretch where they've won 2 games in a row. All of their wins have been surrounded by losses here as of late, and they don't have many of them. Since that Toronto series, last night was their 4th win in what is now their 5th series. So they've been struggling. They needed last night. They needed that start from Erod. They needed that 9-run outburst from the offense. They needed an extra night off for their bullpen that's been overworked. And we all just needed a nice, relaxing. I mean, I threw that game on last night with the family while we were having dinner. Game was never in doubt. Never felt like I couldn't leave the room to go do something because if I would come back, the Diamondbacks would have blown it. I mean, they felt like they were in firm control of that game last night. Much needed and something that we haven't seen much as of late. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. It may sound silly, but should Carson Beck be the Cardinals' Week 1 starter? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
Rumors linking the Suns to a potential pursuit of Aaron Gordon. I kind of like it. Now, Aaron Gordon is not a perfect player, but Aaron Gordon checks a lot of boxes for what I think the Suns need. Size, check. He's 6'8", and has years playoff experience. Now, the last time he's played 70-plus games in a season was 3 seasons ago. Well, if you're going to get 50, 60 games of Aaron Gordon, is that a benefit to your team? I think it is.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Stained. Break the Cycle 25th Anniversary Tour. Featuring Seether. October 13th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. With special guests, Hoobastank and Hinder. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union Series.
If you're a fan of any sport on the planet, college or pro, then we are right where you want to be. The place to come when you want to have too much fun. Real sports fans need a sports book powered by Hard Rock Bet. Follow the money line to Twin Arrows and too much fun. Twin Arrows. The best indoor tailgate party in Flagstaff with massive HD screens, cold drinks, game time food specials, and best service is at Arrow Sports Bar. After the game, get back in the game at craps, blackjack, and slots. Now that's too much fun. The place to come when you want to have too much fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Rome here through Rome Report. Here's a question. How did the New York Knicks go from catastrophic to historic? How did they go from potential first-round tanks to arguably the team to beat in the East? From underachievers who appeared DOA to an overnight juggernaut that defends with intensity and suddenly is unguardable? How did Mike Brown go from possibly one and done to the genius who woke his team up and is suddenly pushing all the right buttons? Look, I get it. It was only a beatdown of the Atlanta Hawks, who they were supposed to thrash, and a curb stomping of a 76ers team that was on a short turnaround after a tough and emotional 7-game series. And no, they're not going to continue to run fools out of the gym and win by 30-plus every night. But to quote my favorite band, The Replacements, they did have one foot in the door and the other foot in the gutter. And if Philly doesn't make some serious adjustments, they will be circling the drain if they're not already halfway down it. I'm Jim Rome. Jim Rome here. True story. I married the best person I've ever met, Janet, and we've been married a long time. And the one thing that she loves above all else, I kid you not, pictures. She's constantly taking pictures of everybody and everything. Can't get enough of them. So I found the best gift ever, Aura Frames. Save on gifts that moms love at auraframes.com. For a limited time, get $25 off the Carver bat frame with code ROME. Support the show by mentioning the Jim Rome Show at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply. That's code ROME at auraframes.com.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Right now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, you can get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 qualifying brake rotors. Ask the professional parts people about additional brake pad and rotor upgrade options available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Join the Rooster this Friday for a special edition of MMA Friday live from RT O'Sullivan's. Starting at 4:30 p.m. this Friday, join the Rooster as he breaks down this weekend's fights with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis. From fighter prospects, fighter histories, and the latest betting lines, Rooster has everything you need to know before the fights begin. A special edition of MMA Friday with Rooster from 4:30 to 5:45 p.m. leading up to ASU baseball this Friday right here on KDUS AM 1060.
I think we're all in agreement, Producer Evan, that the Arizona Cardinals are searching for their franchise quarterback, right? They are not like any of these other teams. Buffalo with Josh Allen, Cincinnati with Joe Burrow, Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes, Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. They are not one of these teams that is thinking about 5-10 years down the road, knowing that they have their quarterback and it's all about putting the pieces around that quarterback to try to win not just a championship, but championships, right? I mean, they are not in that spot. They are, like many teams in the league right now, still searching for that answer. To have a true bona fide franchise quarterback, there's only a handful of teams that have that.
And outside of, a bona fide franchise quarterback, they're not in the conversation that the Lions are in, that, they have a guy for the next foreseeable future. Like, they are just in a conversation where they're looking for the answer.
So when you don't have the answer, everything about your operation is about finding the answer, especially at this position, right? If you don't have a quarterback, you basically don't have a team, and everything you do is with the idea of, does this get us closer to finding that quarterback? Does this put us in a better position for that quarterback? That is your framing. That is the way you need to look at every decision that the Arizona Cardinals make between now and whenever they get that QB. Whether it's this year, whether it's 2027, whether it's 2028, whether it's 2030, every decision that the Cardinals make between now and the moment that we all put them in that tier of they've got their franchise quarterback, every decision is in pursuit of getting that quarterback. Does that mean that Carson Beck needs to play all of 2026 in pursuit of getting that answer? Because I keep going back to where they took Carson Beck in the 2026 NFL draft. And maybe I'm the only person out there that's hung up on this, but a top 70 pick is a premium asset. It is not something that you use as a throwaway. It's why I got so upset yesterday when we talked about the Howard Balzer tweet, where they apparently didn't plan to take a quarterback, yet here we are, Carson Beck on the roster. I don't think you throw away premium draft picks on a player that maybe you didn't like, that you didn't want, that you don't have a plan for. That's just not a good use of a top 70 pick. You want to do that with your 5th round pick? I don't love it. I don't think you should throw away any draft picks, but I could at least understand you. The later you get in the draft, the more willing I am to entertaining the dart throws, right? The not a sure thing, low floor, high ceiling, we're taking a shot. You know what? We've got to drop. What if we just took a shot? In day 3 of the draft, you betcha.
High upside.
Top 75, top 70, pick number 65. We're trying to look for more of a sure thing. So I keep going back to that because by taking him where they took him, he has to play at some point in 2026 to justify the selection. Because if we go through all of next year and he doesn't play at all, and they're picking really high in 2027, and they draft Arch Manning, they draft, Sayin from Ohio State, the kid that just transferred to Oklahoma State from North Texas, Dante Moore out of Oregon. They take any of these guys at quarterback, and they're thrusted into the starting role. Then what did you use the 65th pick for? A backup? Maybe? Somebody that you don't know a whole lot about because he didn't play? So because of where they took him, he is going to play. Now, it could be the Tyler Shuck route in New Orleans where he plays towards the back half of the season and you give him a decent runway to see what you have. But I'm wondering if they should play him for the entirety of the season. We all agree, Jacoby Brissett, not the long-term answer. We all agree, Gardner Minshew, not the long-term answer. Now, I'm not saying that Carson Beck is the long-term answer. What I am saying to you today is Carson Beck has the best chance out of anybody that is currently in the Cardinals quarterback room. Carson Beck has the best chance of being something. He has the best chance of being your franchise quarterback. Now, it's not a big chance. I don't think it's a 45% chance, 50% chance, but it is a larger chance than Brissett, than Minshew. And so by playing him early, by playing him in week 1 of the regular season, and hopefully you don't take this as me endorsing this as something I want them to do. I think it's something they may have to do. I would not have selected Carson Beck where they did, but I think by picking him where they did, he is going to have to play at some point. So I want to walk through when that may be. If you play him week 1 and he's healthy and he plays all 17 regular season games, you gain valuable information about what Carson Beck is as a pro quarterback. I mean, you can't get a larger sample size going into the 2027 offseason than him playing every game for you. It's still a small sample size, but it's the largest sample size you can get on Carson Beck in one season. It gives you the most information to make a decision. And again, it goes back to what is this season about? It is about gathering information and making decisions that put you in the best spot to get that franchise quarterback. Because if he plays well, great, you got your answer. You've got a quarterback that you're going to roll with. If he's not great, where are all my team tank folks today? Where's everybody at that wants them to tank next year? This should be the thing you campaign for the most, because if he's not good, you have the perfect cover for tanking over the course of a full season. Because you can say, we drafted this guy 65th overall. We want to see what we have. He's a rookie. He's a young player. He's going to take his bumps. It's going to be a roller coaster. We're going to ride it out over the course of a full season. You have the perfect cover to tank. Now, it's not all perfect, because I said weeks ago, Mike LaFleur needs to hit the ground running, and he needs to hit the ground running on the side of the ball where he's the expert. We can't get to the end of this season and say, this offense, I don't know about this LaFleur guy. The system didn't really, Jeremiah Love struggled. They didn't get the most out of Marv. Michael Wilson regressed. Trey McBride didn't. We can't have those questions about the offense at the end of the year. And so if you play a rookie like Carson Beck, you run the risk of it being a roller coaster ride, of it not looking pretty at times. Jacoby Brissett didn't win a game as a starter last year. So it's not like the options that you have other than Carson Beck are can't-miss options that you have to roll with. So I admit that there is risk that comes with this, and there is risk in the department of something that is important to me, and that is LaFleur hitting the ground running as a head coach and as the offensive mastermind of this team. And I don't know if Carson Beck is the best player for that, but you took a guy 65th overall. He's got to play at some point. So when is the right place for him to play? There's an argument to be made. Now, I don't think they're going to do this. They're going to roll with Brissett at the start, and then if he struggles, then they'll go to Carson Beck. But there's an argument to be made. There's a conversation to be had of, is it actually better? Because if you want to tank for the first overall pick, if you want to get a full view of what Carson Beck is there an argument to be made that he should start from week 1?
I think I would feel way more confident and way better about this pick if he starts from week 1. From out the get-go, we get to see Carson Beck play. And I understand the conversation that you're having of, listen, I want the rookie head coach to start strong. I want him to build some momentum. And whether they throw Brissett out there or not.
And I will tell you, the quarterback that starts week 1 for the Cardinals is going to be the quarterback that Mike LaFleur feels gives him the best chance to win.
Correct. I 100% agree. But from an organizational conversation, you didn't win a game with Jacoby Brissett. And you didn't touch the defense. So he's playing with the same team. You add Jeremiah Love, but you didn't make a single prominent addition defensively all offseason. In fact, you got worse on that side of the ball. So why not try Carson Beck? 1, I didn't win at all with Jacoby. 2, I need an answer on the young quarterback. 3, I still think he gives me the best chance for my young coach to start and build momentum. Because even if they lose and Beck looks good, then it's like, then the conversation becomes, hey, look what they're doing with Carson Beck in developing a young guy. He's getting better every week. That's a really nice job by Mike LaFleur. That's an offensive guy putting his fingerprints on a young quarterback already.
Can I tell you what worries me about all of this in this whole conversation? Is that they do the whole Brissett's the starter at the beginning, and when the results aren't there at the tail end of the season, Carson Beck plays, whether it's 4 games, 6 games, 8 games. What did Tyler Shuck play last year? If you could look that up for me, that would be great. I worry that in that uber small sample size, Carson Beck does just enough to make you think he could be something, but not enough to make it a slam dunk.
And the difference between the Saints and Tyler Shuck got in 11 games, started 9 of them last year, and he went 5-4. He threw 10 touchdowns, 6 picks. The difference is you're talking about a guy in Shuck who they drafted, similarly to the spot that they took back, but before a bad quarterback class. So they weren't in a position to take Mendoza. And so we're going to roll with Shuck. The difference is the Cardinals could be at 8 next year and be in a very good position to take a quarterback, just given how good the class is.
I think where I land on this is that when training camp begins, Carson Beck should have just as much of a shot of winning the starting job as Gardner Minshew and Jacoby Brissett.
Needs to be an even quarterback.
It needs to be an actual competition. And then if they get to the end of it and they decide, listen, Brissett gives us the best chance to win, I can't fault them for going there. But I think Beck deserves an equal shot because if he wows you in training camp, there's a legitimate argument to be made that it benefits you in the long run to start him 17 games next year. If you feel like he's in a position to be your starter, he should start 17 games.
I don't think there's only an argument. I think it's the right decision. Like, even if, and I know this sounds crazy, but Carson Beck, to me, should have the step forward in a quarterback battle, where if they look even, Ty goes to the younger quarterback.
Going back to, we drafted him with the 65th overall pick. We kind of need to know what we have here. And the best way we can do that is by playing him as much as possible.
Right.
And again, it all goes back to, if they feel like he can help them win games, he should start.
And if the conversation is to get the coach out to a nice start in his career, which I agree with and I back, you're not going to win many games with Brissett or Beck. They have massive holes defensively and on the offensive line.
Yeah.
They're not going to win many games no matter who's playing quarterback.
No, it doesn't matter who's in that room. I think it's going to be an uphill battle regardless.
So why not?
Again, this all goes back to where they picked him, that has kind of put them in this situation where he has to play next year. But I think the right thing to do is you go into training camp. It is an open battle. And if he, like Jackson Dart did in New York, if he lights it up in training camp and in preseason, you have to. We have another job for this. We are going to have some of those tough conversations.
100%.
We just are. And that, by the way, would be a good thing if we get to that place. If he has that good of a training camp and that good of a preseason, that's a good problem to have if you're the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, you want him to look good.
It would actually kind of justify the selection.
It would.
I'm not on board with
from
it,
a
but
physical,
it would justify
from a physical talent standpoint. Carson Beck is up there. And let's talk about, this is a dude who's played a lot of football. So he may come in and have a nice camp because he has a ton of experience.
Yeah, started a bunch of games in college.
And big ones, too.
Yeah. So there's a case to be made that he should be the starter week 1. Right now, if I had to handicap it, I don't think he will be, but I think that door should be left open. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. They were key members of last year's team. Could they be on the move this summer? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Was Kevin Durant out because it is a 7-game series and we could afford to lose a game? Maybe. I was surprised to see him on the bench. Everyone was surprised. The odds makers were surprised. Who knew that the Houston Rockets without Durant can't find someone to make a bucket? You know, Sengun's a very good player, and in years past, he might have been the guy to try and carry the load, but it didn't look good at all for the Rockets without KD.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m.
This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. For many listeners, a criminal record can feel permanent. Thankfully, Arizona law allows convictions to be set aside and civil rights, including Second Amendment rights, to be restored. For the hundreds of listeners we have assisted to date, the results have been life-changing. If you're ready to find out what's possible for yourself or a loved one, we can help. To book a free consultation today, call 855-GUN-RIGHTS or visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com. That's RestoreMyCivilRights.com.
The Gorillas, live in Phoenix. The Mountain Tour 2026. Performing at Mortgage Matchup Center, Friday, October 23rd. With special guests, Little Sims and Deltron 3030. Get ready to feel good all over again. The new album, The Mountain, is out now. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
America First Credit Union has everything you need to get your money working. And for a limited time, new members get a $150 cash bonus for opening a checking account and $200 more for enrolling in and using direct deposit. If you're ready to do more with your money and get up to $350 cash, head to americafirst.com and become a member today. Subject to membership eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, changing conditions. Additional requirements may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hey, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. An engagement ring might be one of life's biggest purchases. That's why our rings come with an all-inclusive free lifetime warranty that gives you peace of mind without any fine print. How can we offer such an incredible warranty? We take pride in crafting our rings with care and stand behind our quality craftsmanship. After all, this is a family heirloom you'll own forever. Bring in your ring for cleaning, resizing, and repairs anytime you want. We'll make sure it's as sparkly and secure as the day you bought it, fixing prongs, replacing side stones, and so much more. This type of maintenance could cost you $2,000 or more somewhere else. Under our warranty, it's all free. We even protect your diamond. Other warranties don't. Our rings are crafted to last. But in the rare case you lose your diamond, we'll replace it. At Shane Company, your engagement ring purchase isn't just a one-time transaction. We're here to be your jeweler for life, because a friend always has your back. Come by to learn more in store or visit shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Monument Valley? Check. Grand Canyon? Check. Sedona? Check. Camelback? Check. Think you've seen it all in Arizona? Well, if you haven't been fishing, you haven't seen a thing. From ponds and reservoirs to rivers and lakes, our state has no shortage of ways to cast a line for beginners and pros. And a fishing license is your passport to all of them. Get your license at azgfd.gov and discover a whole new way to see Arizona.
Another weekend of ASU baseball starts right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils this Friday as they get ready to take on Oklahoma State. Head coach Leigh Bloomquist is more than ready to lead his team to another series opening win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, live. It's ASU versus Oklahoma State this Friday night. Pregame at 5:45 p.m. and first pitch at 6:05 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS.com and the KDUS app.
think anybody would doubt the impact that both Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal had on this past season's Suns roster and the roles that they played and how crucial they were to this Suns team winning the amount of games that they did, 45, getting into the postseason the way that they did, not just being a play-in team and being bounced out. They were one of the 8 teams in the Western Conference. There is no doubting the role that those two players played in helping the Suns have the year that they had. Yet it does feel like if the Suns are set to make some changes in the summer, that Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal are two of the likelier names to get sent out in pursuit of this roster looking different next season. I think we can all agree that when previewing the Suns offseason, previewing what the summer could look like, their names come up over and over and over again as trade candidates. I saw a story this morning talking about them as likely trade candidates for the Suns this offseason. It's because of their contracts, how movable they are. And unfortunately, I think with where the Suns are trying to go, they are two of the more expendable pieces, right? The Suns don't want to move Devin Booker. The Suns don't want to move Dylan Brooks. The Suns, at least at this moment in time, don't seem like they want to move Jalen Green. Rasheer Fleming, come on, Malawatch, good luck. Colin Gillespie, they're going to prioritize bringing him back. Mark Williams, it looks like they're going to prioritize bringing him back. These are players that aren't going anywhere. And so once you start going down the list, you get to a point where it's Grayson Allen and it's Royce O'Neal. Now, why would the Suns trade these guys? Why would the Suns, after the success that they just had last year and talking about continuity and liking their group, why would they move these guys? Well, it would free up some money. That's step number one. And the Suns are going to have to, every year until this Bradley Beal money is off the books, are going to have to look at extra ways to free up cap space, right? Other teams that don't have this much dead money on their cap can let contracts expire, free up cap space, and it's easier to manage their financial situation. For the Suns, it's like playing the video game on expert mode. They've added an extra challenge to their financials. We no longer want to be a second apron team because we saw how much that messed things up for us. But we're carrying like $23 million in money that we can't access for 5 seasons. So we don't want to go over the aprons, and we're already dealing from a place of $23 million not available to us. Creates an extra challenge. And so the way you kind of deal with that challenge is you move contracts like Grayson Allen, you move contracts like Royce O'Neal. Those two guys also, I don't think they would be blockbusters. I mean, we had Ben Garcia on the show yesterday. He said that he thinks there's a world where they might be able to get a first-round pick for Grayson Allen. I don't know if that's likely, but there's going to be some draft pick compensation that you can get back from those guys, and we know the Suns are desperate for draft picks. They don't control their own draft picks until 2030. So they are desperate for more swings at the bat because you know how you deal with the dead money that they have, how much they're paying Devin Booker, the money that they're going to have to pay to Jalen Green if they choose to extend him. You complement those guys. You complement those issues with the dead money of Bradley Beal with young players that you can draft and identify and develop. It's why there's so much excitement about Kaman Malawatch and Rasheer Fleming, because if the Suns got those picks right, those are young players that aren't going to cost a fortune right now that they can build around. And moving these guys frees up roster spots so that there's playing time for Rasheer Fleming, so that there's more minutes to go around, so that Colin Gillespie can see more time.
And that's what I wanted to get into is what it does for the younger guys. I'm sorry, but Ben Garcia said it yesterday too when he was on. We talked about, he likes the lengthy guys who can shoot a little. And Rasheer Fleming is that. A guy who can be a true 3-and-D in this league, a superstar role player in this league. I don't. Every time he's on the floor, you just see what he could be.
Right.
I want him to get more minutes every night.
Did you watch Rasheer Fleming last year and think to yourself, I don't know if the Suns got this right. I don't know if he's ready for a bigger role. No, every time you watch Rasheer Fleming on the floor, you wanted more. I need more minutes for Rasheer Fleming. Well, with the way the roster was made up, they couldn't do that. Well, now you get to the summer, and there are ways to reset. And I think one of the reset buttons they need to hit is prioritizing opportunity for Rasheer Fleming. And moving some of these guys kind of helps you do that. It frees up roster spots. It frees up money. It may get you draft picks. And it is a way of changing the team without actually making huge sweeping changes. Because if there's one thing we took from last week, that the huge sweeping changes are not coming. But this is a way to change this team, to change the composition, to change the makeup without actually changing the nucleus, without actually changing most of what made you successful last year. Now, you have to hit on the replacements that you bring in for those guys. You have to hit on the draft picks that you get back in these trades. You have to make good on what you do here. But this feels like a very likely outcome this summer. Now, I don't think the Suns are going to force anything. I don't think they're going to, they're going to have to wait for a good deal to move either of these guys. But it does feel like these are two of the more likely moves if the Suns do want to change a little bit of their roster.
Makes the most sense.
And I think they have guys on the roster that can replace their roles. Like Colin Gillespie, I think, is the replacement for Grayson Allen as the guy that comes off the bench and is your, scorer off the bench.
Colin Gillespie, again, hit more threes in a season than any Sun in the history of the franchise.
Right. So I want that guy to have some opportunities.
Right?
And that's what Grayson Allen was doing, right? He was hitting threes. That's what his role was. Okay? I've got Colin Gillespie to do that. I don't need to pay two guys a lot of money to do that and have to deal with juggling the minutes. No, I'll get one guy, and then maybe the Suns drafted somebody in last year's draft class that was a really good shooter that maybe could go into the third role and not play a whole lot. Maybe Colby Brea could get some run.
You mean to tell me all three rookies touched the floor throughout the year?
All I'm saying is that there is a world where instead of paying a ginormous sum of money for Grayson Allen and Colin Gillespie to do basically the same thing, you can pay Colin Gillespie, the younger player, bring him back, and you can elevate Colby Brea into a smaller role, but a role on the NBA level.
You have, and I'm not saying they're perfect fits. Like, we're not sitting here telling you that Colby Brea is the player Grayson Allen is, and I don't want to diminish the player Grayson Allen is and what he has meant to the Suns.
But it's a better use of resources.
But where you're at right now is the bigger importance here. Where this organization sits in 2026 is the more important conversation. And I get it. You want to capitalize and you want to spend the money after winning 45 games. Don't do it yet.
I mean, if you told me right now.
Watch what other teams have done. Watch Oklahoma City. Watch San Antonio and say, okay, that is what what Oklahoma City's done is the greatest roster construction I've maybe seen in any sport ever. Of where they've set themselves up for the long run. Can you take some notes?
Yeah, I think it's a better use of resources to pay Gillespie, move Allen. If you can get a first, like Ben suggested yesterday, great. Use that pick to get another young player, elevate Colby Brea. That's a better use of resources. I think Rasheer Fleming getting minutes and Royce O'Neal being out the door for a second or whatever you can get for him, I think it's a better use of resources.
And watching Malawach and Fleming and Colby Brea get their minutes, while limited last year, I want to see them draft more. I mean, they have...
Yeah, give me more swings.
If they have done anything, they've given themselves the right to say, hey, a second-round pick means something for us. First-round pick means something for us.
Ben mentioned that yesterday, that they've done well with those picks, that you want them to swing more. So this feels like something that they could do where they actually change the composition of the team, although the names relatively stay the same. And that's why the continuity change debate, I think, is a fascinating one. But there's a way to change this roster without needing to make the massive change. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. Torey Lovello did something he normally doesn't. And last night it worked. Will it work again tonight? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band.
You know your man is working hard.
Saturday, August 22nd, 8 p.m. The Salt River Grand Ballroom at Talking Stick Resort. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Been crazy busy these days? Sounds like you could use a little we time. That means playtime at the AAA 4-Diamond Wekopa Casino Resort. Game time with more than 900 slots plus table games. Maybe a tea time on one of 2 nationally ranked courses. And definitely some hang time at WKP Sportsbook, the largest sportsbook in the state. Wekopa Casino Resort. It's we time.
If you're a pro, you know you need paint and primer fast. And the Home Depot has you covered with same-day or next-day deliveries so you can stay on site and on schedule. Get high-quality Behr paints and Kills primers delivered right to your job site. And with the Home Depot app, reordering is faster than ever. Just pick your paint, track your order, and get your go-to color in no time. No delays, no extra trips, just the paint and primer you need when you need it. The Home Depot. How pros get more done. Limitations may apply. Not available in all markets. See store for details.
With a Global credit card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores. Or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global credit card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
It's the NASCAR Cup Series Go Bowling at the Glen event at Watkins Glen International.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Field works their way 2 by 2. They bunch together in the middle of the tri-oval.
Heads to New York.
Oh, we got trouble. One car has spun into the second spot. Lots of white smoke. It was Eric Jones.
For a Mother's Day trip around the Glen.
Side by side. Oh, Ryan Priest will break loose. They're crashing mid-pack. Carson Hocevar will come to the line.
It's the Go Bowling at the Glen.
This Sunday, 11 a.m. on KACG 1440 and the KDUS 1060 app.
Torey Lovello called a rare meeting in his office with the entire starting rotation of the Diamondbacks. That's a lot of people in one room.
6, to be specific, in an office.
You think it was just Torey and the 5 starters?
That's what it was reported as,
okay,
right?
You don't think,
a pitching coach?
Brian Kaplan was in there as well? I don't know. I'm just curious. Torey Lovello is the one that called the meeting, but was it just the 6 guys?
On the TV broadcast last night, they said it was just the 6 guys.
Okay, so it was Torey Lovello and just the rotation.
Now I'm doubting that. I feel like you have a different source. I didn't.
No. I don't have any sources.
I just heard this on the TV broadcast that it was just the pitchers and Torey.
So the pitchers and Torey, they have a meeting. And I think that meeting describes perfectly what we said yesterday, that we're more concerned about the starters than the lineup. You didn't see Torey calling in Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll and Geraldo Perdomo and the entire lineup into his office. Now, that'd be a little harder. It wouldn't be elbow room in there if you called the entire lineup into the office.
And then do you call in a guy who you're rotating out? And, if are we gonna play Fernandez and Vargas both days?
Way more complicated to have the meeting with
100%
in your office.
Is Carlos Santana in that meeting?
So you call the meeting with the starters. I think it shows the urgency that the Diamondbacks feel there is right now. I think it's proof of what we came to yesterday, that there's more concern about the starters than there are the offense and the hitters in the lineup. And last night, Erod did his job. Erod took the message from that meeting, went out there, threw 7 scoreless, did his job, and then some last night. Well, now the baton has been passed, and now it is Michael Soroka's job this evening. The tall task of going up against Paul Skeens, it is his job to take that baton, run with it some more, and then pass it off to the next guy. You saw Erod respond well to that meeting last night. Now we get to see, and this goes back to what we said in the open of the show today. Erod doing what he did last night, it's kind of expected. You're kind of taking it for granted that he's been that good so far this season. It's the rest of the rotation that you're kind of worried about. So, yeah, Erod responded well to the meeting last night. Kind of expected him to because he's been the guy that's pitching the best. So now it's Soroka, it's Ryan Nelson, it's Zach Gallen, it's Merrill Kelly. It's their turn to respond to this meeting. But I think the meeting is proof positive how the Diamondbacks internally feel about their struggles as of late and where they feel like there is the most urgency, the most issues, there's some pressing that's probably going on a little bit, and what they need to get back on track in a hurry. They cannot live in a world where they're getting 4 or 5 innings every single night from their starter. They don't need what they got from Erod every single night. And Michael Soroka tonight was kind of brought here to be the 5th guy in the rotation, maybe be the swing man. He's supposed to be the guy that takes the ball every 5 days, competes, gives you a chance to win. He's not supposed to be the guy that has to go out there and give you 7+, 6+. He's supposed to be the guy that 5 innings, 3 runs, gives you a chance. But this entire rotation needs to give you a little bit more. Michael Soroka, outside of his last start, has been pretty good this year. So does Soroka respond tonight? Again, a tall task going up against Paul Skeens and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Are the Cardinals going about one specific thing the right way? We've got a Star Wars-themed dueling draft, but we start hour number 2 with buy or sell. We'll get to it next. You're listening to The Lunch Break, KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hey, it's Audrey from the David Mahoney Morning Show. So much of what makes a family happy is what takes place in our homes. And some of that is creating a mess, whether it's picking up a kid from soccer practice, baseball practice, and all of that yuck being brought into your home carpets or onto your hardwood or tile. And Zero Res actually has something that can help. They can handle every single surface in your homes like carpets, tile, grout, hardwood, LVP, stone, upholstery, rugs, and even air ducts. I've recently used Zero Res and they do an amazing job. And I have pets, okay? And my pets might be dirtier than your kids. Actually, after further review, probably not. But this month, get Zero Resified starting at just $45 per room and get an air duct cleaning starting at just $4.99. You owe it to yourself and to your family to breathe healthy, happy, and clean. Call Zero Res right now at 480-507-2419 or go online at ZeroResPhoenix.com and say you want the KDUS special. Spell it backwards or forwards. It all spells the same. Zero Res.
The Psychedelic Furs are back, live. May 28th, 7:30 p.m. at the Celebrity Theater. The Psychedelic Furs. Playing all the hits with special guests. We are scientists. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. The Psychedelic Furs, brought to you by Danny Zalisco Presents.
When you hear crunch, whine, boing, Alaskan AC will arrive to fix it in less than 24 hours from the first crunch, whine, boing. No matter what kind of crunch, whine, or boing your AC is making. We fix it on your schedule.
That's huge. We guarantee to be there in 24 hours or less, or the repair is free.
We not only get there fast, we Polar Bear promise we'll get the job done right. We believe you deserve fresh air free of humidity in every room of your home, and you should never hear crunch,
wine.
Boing. If you do, call Alaskan AC and we guarantee we'll be there in under 24 hours.
If we don't make it, your repair will be free.
No matter how big the crunch.
Boing.
Or wine?
Wait, I thought I was wine.
You're crunch.
I'm Crunch. You're Boing.
I don't think I'm boing. Gary's more of a boing than me.
William is crunch.
Schedule now and tell us who boing is. Only at AlaskanAC.com.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan on the other side of the glass. Thanks for hanging out with us today on the program. It's buy or sell time in front of what I am ready to call the hardest dueling draft that we have ever done
In a very different way.
in the history of the program.
We've had dueling drafts that get tough. I thought last week's got tough.
My big board
because how many names is
is
yours?
14 names deep right now.
Yeah, mine's 12.
There can only be 10 names selected.
I don't even know where I'm going to go towards the back half of this draft.
We are drafting because on Monday it was May the 4th.
By the way, you do have the first pick.
You want it?
You're going to offer it to me?
You have to make me an offer. I'm telling you that it's available for a trade.
Yeah, I'll trade you that for 5 wings.
That's interesting because that's not what I was going to offer. I was going to offer the right to swap for like the next 3 dueling drafts, potentially.
Next 3.
Yeah, I get.
I'll give you the right to 2.
Well, wait a minute. You were
3's crazy.
Hold on. You were offering wings. Do we want to offer wings or do we want to offer?
No, let's go back
swaps?
to. We can do swaps.
Because if we're doing wings, it's got to be like 25 wings.
If you want to trade the first pick, I'll take it. We can also do this next segment. I
need 3 swaps at least.
No, you get 2. That's my offer.
At this moment in time, we will not accept. Team Schubert will not accept that offer. You have up until
how much do you want, Ty Simpson?
You have up until I make my selection to make me an offer. But for the moment, I'm good.
Okay.
And with that, we can start the Wednesday edition of Buy or Sell.
By the way, it was great having Ben on yesterday. Not my hour of the program anymore.
Well, that's because the news dump's gone. It's not because of Ben.
No, I know.
The news dump.
Yeah,
right.
But I didn't want to make it feel like it was because of Ben. And I think now I probably made it feel.
Yeah, you made it feel like it was Ben, and it's not Ben. It's
the news dump is gone.
Well, yeah, the news dump being gone. So I think Wednesday's now your hour.
Because the dueling draft,
the leftovers.
Correct.
There's a lot going on a Wednesday.
Speaking of, it might be my hour, but I think we're going to get multiple hours of Paul Skeens, who will work tonight into the 7th inning.
I mean, this is no shot at the Diamondbacks. I mean, he's one of the 5 best pitchers in baseball.
He's unbelievable.
I mean, he's just really good.
And he has his own pitch.
So you kind of just anticipate the default position when you see Paul Skeens come up on your schedule is, oh, we don't stand a chance. Like, doesn't matter who you are. The default position is, oh, he's going 7 scoreless against us.
Now,
and if you do anything better than that, it's a win. You may not win the game, but it feels like you won the game.
And last night is what we thought the Pirates' offense would be.
Oh,
some feeble at bats.
Some of those at bats, they didn't go up there with a plan.
But this year in general, they've been way better than expected, way better than advertised. But they did not have a plan yesterday.
They did not have a plan yesterday.
It was bad.
I'm hoping they don't have a plan for the remainder of the series.
That would be nice.
They can figure it out after this. But for these next 2 games.
No plans for the rest of the
next 2 days, please.
The Cardinals will try to add an edge rusher before the start of the season.
I mean, they certainly should. I just don't know if it's going to be a free agent that they sign, let's say, in the next couple of weeks, or it's somebody that they add throughout training camp because of roster cutdowns. I don't know which way they go about it. Maybe it's both. I mean, there's certainly an argument to be made that they need a lot of help in that room on the other side of Josh Sweat.
They need a lot of help.
So maybe it's multiple guys, but I think they will try to add somebody, yes.
I think that's their only way, that's their best plan of action. I don't know what else they would do. Because you can't run out there right now. They can.
They can run out there with the group they have now.
What was the mistake they made last offseason?
What was the mistake they made last offseason? Not the one that just happened.
Correct.
The one where they got Josh Sweat.
Yes.
What was the mistake?
To me, it was that they didn't touch the offensive side of the ball. They left it mostly as is.
Yeah.
They are making the same mistake.
Just in reverse.
Just
flip it.
Flip it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. They are doing just the inverse of last year's offseason with just a focus on the offensive side of the ball instead of the defensive side of the ball like it was last year.
The Suns will trade at least one significant name this offseason. Okay, I was going to say a significant name means a guy who has solid minutes last year.
I mean, is Grayson Allen significant?
Yes.
Is Royce O'Neal significant?
Yes.
Is Mark Williams potentially significant?
Yes.
Then I think, from those three, somebody's going. Maybe multiple guys are going.
Maybe multiple guys are going. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Maybe all three.
Maybe all three.
Maybe all three.
If the D-backs struggles continue offensively, they will call up Ryan Waldschmidt sooner than later.
So this is going to hurt.
Because they scored 9.
Well, he got hit in the head last night with a pitch. So
I didn't see this.
So I don't know. I have not seen an update this morning on his status. So I don't know. I don't know when he's going to play.
By the way, do we have an update on Jordan Lawler?
You want a Jordan Lawler update? I don't have a Jordan Lawler update for you.
I'll find it. Let's get an update on both these guys.
But yeah, was hit in the helmet with a pitch and was pulled from the game. Haven't heard anything else.
I'm assuming he's not.
I mean, you get hit in the helmet with a pitch, you're going to be down for a couple of days.
Correct. On April 7th.
He is not in the lineup today for the Reno Aces taking on, I don't know who they're facing. But he's not in there. But you know who is? You know who is in the lineup playing first base today?
Tyler Locklear.
No, Carlos Santana. Yeah, Carlos Santana in there at first base today.
What's up with Tyler Locklear?
Didn't I read that both him and Carlos Santana are on rehab assignments? I thought I read this, that they're both working their way back.
Yes. Jordan Lawler, we're still 2 months from seeing, I think.
Okay.
So we got a long way to go here on the Jordan.
So Ryan Waldschmidt, can I put it on layaway?
Yeah.
Because I just want an update on he got hit in the helmet. So, you got to be worried about concussion protocol. A lot of things you worry about there. So I understand the spirit of what you're asking, but he may miss some time here.
No, I totally agree. I can't believe I missed that. Ryan Waldschmidt, I feel like a guy I got alerts on.
That's your guy.
That's my guy.
I feel like the ESPN alerts would go off or something.
The Knicks will sweep the Sixers if they are without Joel Embiid.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Do you think they match up better without Embiid?
It's certainly
because they can play way faster.
They can play faster. And there is an argument to be made that a compromised Joel Embiid kind of slows everything down defensively
Correct.
for the Sixers, and they'll just keep attacking him. Now, sure, they can attack Andre Drummond, but you may force them to be more multi-dimensional, and you could force them into some mistakes. Now, I still think they're going to – I mean, they've won the last 3 games by 25-plus points. I mean, they're on a warpath right now. They can't be stopped. So until somebody shows me that they can be stopped, until somebody – and I know Atlanta did it at the early part of the series, and they beat them a couple times, but until somebody shows me that they can compete with the Knicks right now, I will take the Knicks.
I think that's fair. I don't know who else you would take. I think that's fair. I just I don't understand how they have flipped the switch that fast. It happened so fast.
I mean, the talk in New York was they're going to collapse. They're going to lose the series. They're going to fire Mike Brown. I mean, that's how
we were looking at another coaching change.
That's how dire it felt in that series. That feels like ages ago. And it wasn't that long ago. That's how impressive they've been over the last 3 games.
You're going to love this next one. Packers will finish as a top 10 defense under Jonathan Gannon.
What statistic are we using for this? Points per game?
Yes.
Where'd they finish last year?
NFL points.
I mean, I know... Sometimes you just hit me with something that I'm just not expecting. And this was one of those.
They finished 11th.
They were 11th last year.
Would you like me to read you the top 10?
Sure.
Rams, Jacksonville, Chargers, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Kansas City, Denver, New England, Houston, Seattle. Wow. I mean, you're a big Gannon believer.
He's a good DC. He was not a good head coach.
Some would say he was a bad head coach.
Some would say that.
Some would say he did not do a great job as the head coach.
Some would say that it was very bad. I would be one of those people. One of those people.
Devin Booker will be a career Sun if he doesn't get traded this year.
He's not going anywhere.
That was our last one.
I mean, Matt Ishbia made it about as clear as you could last week. Devin's not going anywhere.
No, he's not.
Now, you don't have to agree with it, but that's the truth.
And by the time it gets to 2030, we're looking at a guy who, how old is he now?
Sorry. I want to say 29.
Devin Booker is 29 years old. So by the time you were talking about a 33-year-old in 2030. I mean, is he going to be looking to leave? Can he sign a team-friendly deal?
I mean, he may bounce around towards the end of his career because that's what everybody does. But his prime is going to be here in Phoenix.
You'd have to imagine.
Yeah, I don't see him going anywhere. Again, you don't have to agree with it. I'm not sure I fully agree with it. But you have to believe people when they tell you he's not going anywhere. You're the owner of the team saying we're going to win a championship with Devin Booker. Okay, but he's not going anywhere.
No, I agree. All right, final offer, a swap and 5 wings.
2 swaps, 15 wings.
No chance.
Yeah. Is that it on buy or sell?
That's it on buy or sell.
All right. Well, I'm going to be on the clock here for our dueling draft here in a second. See if I get a better offer between now and the time that I make the pick. We are drafting the best Star Wars characters. We're doing it next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
The Knicks have won 4 in a row by a combined 135 points. So this is setting up for one of those unbelievable runs or an epic collapse. Is there something that kind of opened the door for you guys playing great against Atlanta and great opening up this series against Philadelphia? Something happened. We thought the Knicks were teetering on the brink when they're down 2-1. All of a sudden, C.J. McCollum is the new Trae Young, and the Knicks postseason is going south.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Hey, everybody, it's John Holmberg here from the Morning Sickness, chilling away for Lifted Trucks. So I got my 2024 Bronco from Lifted Trucks, and I knew it looked great. But the other day I was at a brewery just sitting there minding my own business, and a guy actually got up from the bar, walks over and says, "Hey, whose Bronco's out in the parking lot?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's mine. What's going on?" He goes, "I got to tell you, that's the best looking car I've ever seen." Nice little ego boost. Here's the best part. It was parked right next to a very fancy and incredibly expensive sports car. That Bronco from Lifted Trucks was stealing all the attention, and I love it. Now my dad's in on it too. He liked mine so much, he went and got one from Lifted Trucks himself. His is all black. It looks tough. It's amazing. And I'm starting to think maybe now I have the second coolest Bronco on the road. That's what Lifted Trucks does. They don't just sell vehicles. They build something that stands out. You pay for it. You might as well have it look great. Something people notice. Work hard, play hard, drive harder. Check them out at liftedtrucks.com. See what they can do for you, because if you're going to drive something, it might as well turn heads.
You're invited to a very special evening with Boz Scaggs, live in concert. Rhythm Review Tour 2026. Boz Scaggs performing all the hits and more for one night only. Live at Mesa Arts Center, Saturday, September 26th. Boz Scaggs, live in Mesa, Arizona. Get tickets now at mesaartscenter.com.
Is the crew on their way so we can fire up the grill?
Cabrito, arrachera. They're gonna love it.
Better go with birria and carne en su jugo. Classic Jalisco dishes with tradition.
That seasoning is great, but northern Mexican-style meat speaks for itself. Let's make both.
Deal. And to boost the flavor, ice-cold Pepsi. Its sweetness pairs perfectly.
And to go with it, flour tortillas.
And corn ones too. Hey, carne asada deserves Pepsi.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Nikola Jokic, Victor Wembanyama are two of the NBA's most unique problems. Dominant big men capable of taking over games in a variety of ways. But through discipline and clear defensive identity, the Timberwolves may have found as much of a workable blueprint as possible. Rather than allowing elite bigs to dictate the game in the paint, Minnesota has made it a priority to force them outside, pushing both stars onto the perimeter, daring them to win from less comfortable spots. Rudy Gobert, central to that strategy. The result has been telling. Against Denver, the Timberwolves held Joker under 20% from three, below 45% from the floor. Against San Antonio, the same formula resurfaced last night. Wembanyama still made his presence felt with 12 blocks, but he had just 11 points. You may not stop stars like Joker and Wemby. You're just trying to contain them. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. When money's tight and you're behind, it can be tough to play catch-up. But Liberty Mutual can help you make a comeback, a fourth-quarter go-ahead drive, if you will. Liberty Mutual is clutch by customizing your car and home insurance to save you money, especially when you bundle. It's insurance built for real people with a team that works hard to help keep more of what matters most in your pocket, money. Liberty, 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 liberty. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent, libertymutual.com.
It's the start of official grilling season, so get outside and fire up the grills with Heartland Steakco, known for its high-quality meat, unbeatable freshness, and a family-style commitment to care. At Heartland Steakco, you're getting premium Midwestern meats, hand-cut, hand-picked, and delivered straight to your door. Ordering is easy at heartlandsteakco.com. And right now, when you spend $175 or more, you'll get 8 free steak patties with promo code PATTIES at heartlandsteakco.com. Taste the Heartland difference.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RT O'Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RT O'Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
Back here on the lunch break. Time for a dueling draft. And in honor of it being May the 4th on Monday, we're going to draft Star Wars characters. Now, I will tell you, I'm trying to build a well-rounded cast.
Are you?
I am.
Probably not something I'm going for.
You're just going for
who I think are the best characters.
I have the first pick.
Yep.
Any last-minute offers?
No last-minute offers. Part of me thinks you could mess this up.
Give me Darth Vader, number 1.
Okay. Never mind.
I mean, you can't. I mean, it's potentially one of the greatest villains.
I was gonna say, like, they made 6 movies about him and him and Anakin, however, whatever you want to call them.
So that's the number 1 pick.
Yeah. All right. Here's where I think things get interesting now. Draft starts at 2.
No, the draft. Yeah, the draft. Darth Vader was the Fernando Mendoza of this draft. You were taking him number 1.
I'm going to take Obi-Wan, too.
That was my number 2. So Obi-Wan was my number 2 on my board. So
yeah.
I love, this is following my board so far.
And then
the world is your oyster. I mean, this is a, it really depends on your definition of best.
Yes.
Because there's a character that I think 97% of the audience would pick here in this spot. Way low on my board.
Yeah, I'll take him 5th if he's there. I'll take Darth Sidious here. The Emperor. Were you referring to Luke?
I was not.
Oh, you weren't. I won't be drafting.
So I'm up for 2?
Yes.
I'm going with a very evil group here so far.
No.
Give me Darth Maul.
I didn't think you would take him.
I mean, there's a case to be made that he's better than Darth Vader. But Vader is just so popular, he's got to go number 1.
I didn't think you would take him.
Oh, I love what I've done.
That's killer.
Boy, there's some choices here.
This is where it gets hard.
I mean, it gets hard because there's going to be guys on my list that you're not going to take and I'm not going to take, and they're just going to be left out, and I'm going to feel bad.
Correct. Yes.
There may be some recency bias with this. I can't take him number 3 overall, can I? Give me Luke Skywalker.
With no recency bias to that one?
No, the recency bias was for the person I didn't take.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Give me Count Dooku.
I love my list.
This is a guy who fought for both sides.
I love my list. My list is miles better than his.
No, it's not.
He should have made the trade.
No, it's not. Give me General Grievous.
We're going to put this on social, and it's going to be a clean sweep. I'm going to get 100% of the vote.
No, it's not. Well, because Vader's far better than anybody. It just carries.
Give me R2-D2.
Terrible.
And give me the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. I figured that was the recency bias pick. All right. I mean, terrible 2 picks. So now I'm in a position at 5 here where I pretty much have an open board. Now, if you were stupid, you would take Mace Windu here because he has a purple lightsaber. But really, Anakin doesn't turn to the dark side if it weren't for Mace Windu. Pretty much 3 movies are Mace Windu's fault. Just going to put that out there.
Okay. All right.
You could also argue they're Yoda's fault, but Yoda's cooler and an alien. And then some other names. Chewie's the best.
So Chewie on my big board. I didn't get to him, but
Chewie's the best.
Yeah, he's on my big board.
I was gonna take didn't know if this was allowed. I was gonna take the Fets, Boba and Jango.
You can only have one of them. I had Boba.
I actually
on my
think
big
I
board.
lean Jango, but I think the Boba pick would do better. With all of this being said, I'll take Han Solo.
Han Solo also on my big board. Good pick by you.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't go in your 4-5.
I mean, R2D2 is all-time great.
All-time great.
So I'm putting together an all-time great list.
I got a question for you. Are you excited for the Mando movie?
I am.
Your
Now,
thoughts on the Han Solo movie?
like Solo?
Yeah.
It's excellent.
Thank you. I feel like I'm
both of those movies that came out in that era, Rogue One and Solo,
are excellent.
Yeah, they're great.
And
Fantastic.
I'm not saying that Solo is like the best movie ever, but it's really fun and very entertaining. I liked Solo. I loved Rogue One.
Now, Code's not happy with me. He says the Rebellion has holes all over the roster, and Chris goes with Darth Vader. That's not really what we're doing. We're just drafting our favorite characters, but I like you playing along with the bit here of us trying to build out a team.
Here's what I gotta say.
Code. I'll tell you, he's on my big board. I didn't get to him, but Lando was on my big board. I had him as one of my names.
Lando.
He was
Lando's
at the bottom.
a good one.
He was at the bottom, but he was on there.
The problem is when you only get 10 names, is Lando a top 10 guy?
His draft stock must be falling because of smuggling and gambling escapades. Never change, Code. Never change. You can never leave the show because that's quality that I couldn't even come up with.
And people have often said about Luke Skywalker, and they've compared him to Arch Manning a lot. You know, how much of it is carried by the last name.
Right, the last name.
And I would say he was still a great character. Not Vader, but still great.
Are you going to make your pick?
I already did. Took Han Solo.
You get 2 picks.
No, that was my 5th.
I only have 4 written down for you.
Obi-Wan.
Yes.
Darth Sidious.
Yes.
Count Dooku.
Yes.
General Grievous.
Oh, General Grievous. I didn't have him written down.
Han Solo. Yeah, I don't know how you didn't take it.
Who?
General Grievous.
Other names that I had on my big board.
Yeah, give me some of the other names.
I had Boba Fett.
Okay.
I had Yoda.
Same.
I mean, we just went through 10 names and we didn't have Yoda. That was the name that I said 97% of people would put on their list that I was going to be okay with not having.
That's how I felt. So I thought you were going to say that was Luke Skywalker.
No, Luke's again, a whole bunch of movies built around him.
Yes, agreed, but he never really beat Vader. Vader just turned back to the dark side, and then Vader kills the Emperor.
Spoilers. Sorry. Spoilers. I mean, there may be some people out there who haven't seen the films. My goodness. I have.
It was in 1983.
I had Chewbacca. I had Lando Calrissian. I had Kylo Ren on my big board.
Oh, that thing! I would have laughed at you if you picked Kylo
and I
Ren.
had Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, he's the boy.
I had him high up on my list. I didn't get to him.
Some underrated ones I had: Commander Cody.
Okay, I mean, Princess Leia not on
my list. Shak T, I always thought was cool. She's on my list, but never going to take her inside the top 10.
Jar Jar Binks didn't make your...
No, Jar Jar Binks did not make my list.
Jabba not on your list?
Jabba not on my list. I think those are fair leave-offs.
No Grogu?
I haven't seen enough. Not enough dialogue yet. Wat Tambor, I almost added him.
Well, Grogu doesn't really speak a lot in them. Yes. Just kind of makes noises. But.
Darth Plagueis. Thought about having him on there.
I have to finish. There's a lot of the TV that I haven't gotten.
Have you
yet.
watched any of the new Mall show?
No.
It's animated. It is fantastic.
Well, that's like Clone Wars, right?
It's like in that animation style, but it's like a. All right. Can I give out spoilers?
So what?
Solo.
I think. When did the movie come out? Look it up.
Like 2015.
Hold on. Because I think in general, I have a rule of thumb on this when we're on the air.
Is it a 10-year rule?
I usually say 5 years is.
It's a 2018 movie.
So that's now 8 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, spoil away.
It is
now hold on, be careful. If anybody hasn't seen the movie and doesn't want to be spoiled, here's your chance.
Yes. 5.
Turn the volume down for the next 20 seconds.
3.
Don't change the channel, just turn the volume down.
1. At the end of Solo, when they show you that Maul is now the ruler of all the criminal families, this Maul show is about him taking over those criminal families.
That's a good show.
Yeah, so it's really well done. That's all I got for you.
I mean, you're going through my I'm going through my Marvel rewatch.
I was going to say you're doing the Marvel rewatch though, so it's just hard. Where are you guys at?
Where did I leave it in the last update? Where I don't remember where I left it.
It was Iron Man 3.
That's where we left it. Thor: The Dark World's the next movie for us. We haven't started it.
Okay.
And she's willing to go see Mandalorian and Grogu with me in the theaters. But
Nice.
she's never seen Star Wars before.
But at least that's one that you can.
I know, but
I know. You're not going to really.
She's not really going to enjoy it.
Because you're at a timeline that you kind of need to see Star Wars.
You need to know some of the stuff that's going on.
Yes. Yeah, no, I agree.
So to recap, my list: Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, and the Mandalorian. Top 5 best Star Wars characters. Dueling Draft Edition.
For me, it was Obi-Wan, Darth Sidious, Count Dooku, General Grievous, Han Solo. We'll put this out on socials. I think I won this with a strong comeback.
Now, next year we can draft the movies.
I like that.
Around this time.
I'm going to dominate you in that because you like the new ones.
I like the new ones. I understand their value, though. Like there are players in the draft I like. I know not to take them in the first round. I know you got to wait. You got to wait for the value to match up with the board.
That's fair. And just because you have a guy at 9 on your big board,
right,
doesn't mean you panic and take him 9.
Right.
Even though there's other players you like.
Right. You let the board. You got to.
Unlike some people we know.
Unlike some teams
I've heard of.
There you have it. A dueling draft for you here on a Wednesday. When we come back, are the Cardinals going about one thing in exactly the right way? That's next, the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
Rumors linking the Suns to a potential pursuit of Aaron Gordon. I kind of like it. Now, Aaron Gordon is not a perfect player, but Aaron Gordon checks a lot of boxes for what I think the Suns need. Size, check. He's 6'8", and has years playoff experience. Now, the last time he played 70-plus games in a season was 3 seasons ago. Well, if you're going to get 50, 60 games of Aaron Gordon, is that a benefit to your team? I think it is.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I get by with a little help from my friends.
Ringo Starr and his all-star band. With friends, Steve Lukather from Toto. From Men at Work, Colin Hay. From Average White Band, Hamish Stewart. Friday, June 12th, 7:30 p.m., Gamage Auditorium. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Danny Zalesko Presents.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Hello?
Hey, sis. Got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
Take a look at the picture I just sent you. I'm walking into Hellsberg and want to get Mom something special for Mother's Day.
Yeah, she's done so much for us this year. Let's see. Diamond pendant. Oh, she'd love this.
Great. I'll get this, which means you're in charge of flowers.
Okay, deal.
This Mother's Day, save up to 50% on timeless gifts for Mom. Shop at a store near you or at Hellsberg.com.
Join the Rooster this Friday for a special edition of MMA Friday live from RTO Sullivan's. Starting at 4:30 p.m. this Friday, join the Rooster as he breaks down this weekend's fights with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis. From fighter prospects, fighter histories, and the latest betting lines, Rooster has everything you need to know before the fights begin. A special edition of MMA Friday with Rooster from 4:30 to 5:45 p.m. leading up to ASU baseball this Friday right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Are the Cardinals actually doing something right this offseason? Well, a CBS Sports story gave one reason for optimism about every team after the NFL draft, and their reason for optimism about the Cardinals kind of links to our earlier conversation in the show about Carson Beck being the starter for all of next season and how we should view this entire season for the Arizona Cardinals. This story written by Brian DiArdo for CBS Sports. And for the Arizona Cardinals, he said, building a sound foundation for the QB of the future is the reason for optimism. Quote, too often teams set young quarterbacks up for failure by putting them in poor situations. To their credit, the Cardinals are taking a different approach, end quote. And talks about how they are strengthening the rest of the roster, Jeremiah Love, Chase Pasantis, adding Carson Beck in the draft, and setting the foundation, right? And so is there an argument to be made that they're doing this the right way? That they didn't rush or force a quarterback pick last year? They didn't force the pick of Ty Simpson. Now, I don't know how much they love Ty Simpson. I don't know if they would have aggressively moved up to get Ty Simpson if he got past the Rams at 13. We'll never know the answer to that question. I said right after the draft, if the Cardinals love Ty Simpson, you will never hear about them wanting to move up for Ty Simpson. If they didn't like Ty Simpson, you'll hear about how, they weren't interested. But if they love Ty Simpson, you won't hear about it because then it'll be proof that they kind of got sniped by the Los Angeles Rams. You don't draft a quarterback unless you're ready for one. We talked about that in hour number one of the show. The Cardinals weren't ready to take a quarterback this past offseason. I mean, they checked every box for why you wouldn't draft a rookie quarterback. You have a rookie head coach, questions along your offensive line, questions about what your receiver room looks like. You have a defense that's in flux. You have a GM that's maybe sort of kind of on the hot seat. The Cardinals were not in a position to take Ty Simpson and drop him in behind this offensive line with this skill group, with that defense, and expect him to float. You can draft the most talented quarterback in the world. If they are not set up for success, if you don't have a supporting cast around them, they aren't going to succeed. And look at the guy who just won the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold was drafted by New York, by the Jets, was not supported right with the infrastructure, wasn't given a great offensive line, wasn't given great pass catchers, and it took a bunch of different stops. But then he goes to Seattle, who had one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the league last year. Had one of the best offensive lines. Had a superstar running back who just got the bag this past offseason. Had the best wide receiver in the league last year in Jackson Smith-Njigba. You support your quarterback, they can thrive. You don't support your quarterback, doesn't matter how talented they are. The Cardinals could have had the number 1 overall pick and drafted Fernando Mendoza. I'm not sure Fernando Mendoza would have succeeded this year. Rookie head coach, questions along the offensive line. How much support are you going to get from the defense? You don't draft a quarterback unless you are ready for one. The Cardinals weren't. So now your entire offseason is viewed through the lens of, how do we get ready for a quarterback? How do we get ready for the 2027 NFL draft where we may be in a position to take a QB? Well, signing Isaac Samalu, drafting Chase Besantis, shoring up some of the holes that you had on your offensive line, that's a great place to start. And while I hate the value of the pick, adding somebody like Jeremiah Love certainly helps. And now this year, it's going to be about Mike LaFleur installing his system. It's going to be about him getting the most out of Jeremiah Love and showing that Jeremiah Love is a superstar. It's going to be about revitalizing the career of Marvin Harrison Jr. Maybe we should say restarting the career of Marvin Harrison Jr., getting it off the ground. It's going to be about capitalizing on the great year that Michael Wilson had last season. It's going to be a continuation in the development of Trey McBride as the best tight end in all of football. So that next year, let's paint a picture for just a second. We get to the end of next year, doesn't matter how many wins the Cardinals have.
Who cares?
You get to the end of the season. If Jeremiah Love looks like a superstar, if Marvin Harrison Jr. has a career year, if Michael Wilson looks like a really solid wide receiver too, if the offensive line that you built to get you put together, you built in the offseason, stays together and looks like a good group, doesn't look like a bunch of traffic cones, if Trey McBride looks like the best tight end in football, now you have a situation that is ready for a quarterback with a coach who has a year of experience, a coach that has now got his system in place, has everybody on the same page, now can add that missing ingredient, now can add in that quarterback. And so I don't know if it's a reason for optimism like the CBS story points out, because I don't know if they're going to get this right. I don't know if this year is going to be laying the foundation, but that's what they're going to try to do. And if they are able to do it, then in my mind, it is a successful season for the Arizona Cardinals. If we get to the end of next year and more players are better, if more players are improved than when we started this with Mike LaFleur, then that's a win in my book. Whether it's 3 wins, whether it's 6 wins, whether it's 12 wins. The right way to do a rebuild is to get everything else right and then get the quarterback. Now, The Cardinals were interested in Ty Simpson. The Cardinals were interested in Malik Willis. They kind of lucked their way into being in this spot right now. But this is probably the right way to go about this. Now, there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of things they have to do right. But the path is clear. Get ready to take that big swing at a quarterback. Everything you do is about that big swing. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us. The KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, all the stories we didn't get to here today on the show, we call them the leftovers. We get to them next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Was Kevin Durant out because it is a 7-game series and we could afford to lose a game? Maybe. I was surprised to see him on the bench. Everyone was surprised. The odds makers were surprised. Who knew that the Houston Rockets without Durant can't find someone to make a bucket? You know, Sengun's a very good player, and in years past, he might have been the guy to try and carry the load, but it didn't look good at all for the Rockets without KD.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. Hurt in a crash? Now you're in pain, missing work, and your car's out of commission. Call the accident attorneys at Sweet James. They help you get medical care, handle your case, and fight for the money you may need to get your life back. Pay nothing until they win. Get a free case review at 800-9-MILLION, 800-900-0000, and sweetjames.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-MILLION. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorneys.
Weezer, The Gathering, live in Phoenix. Playing at Mortgage Matchup Center October 20th with special guests The Shins and Silver Sun Pickups. Get tickets now at livenation.com. 3 incredible bands for one night only. Weezer, The Shins, and Silver Sun Pickups. For more, visit Weezer.com.
When I was a kid, my dream wasn't a mansion. It wasn't a yacht. It was a 250cc Kawasaki dirt bike sitting in the garage. That garage and that bike represented freedom. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. At A1 Garage Door Service, we know your garage holds more than tools. It holds dreams. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage Door Service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
A1 from day one.
Megan's grandfather bought his first Ranger here. Her dad bought his first F-150 here. And she just drove off the lot in a new Ford Expedition for her family. 3 generations, all choosing Sanderson Ford. Visit Sanderson during their anniversary sale and see why. Right now, purchase any new Ford and get a $500 Circle K fuel card on Sanderson. We have your first 5 tanks covered. When you're in the market for a new vehicle, choose the dealership families have been trusting for over 70 years. Choose Sanderson Ford. Not valid on fleet or AXZ or D-Plan purchases. Offer expires 5/31/26.
Another weekend of ASU baseball starts right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils this Friday as they get ready to take on Oklahoma State. Head coach Lee Bloomquist is more than ready to lead his team to another series opening win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, live. It's ASU versus Oklahoma State this Friday night. Pregame at 5:45 p.m. and first pitch at 6:05 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS.com and the KDUS app.
Wrapping up today's edition of the program. It's all the stories we didn't get to here today. We call them the leftovers. Producer Evan puts them together. I have no idea what's coming. Take it away.
So today, the NBA does their coach and anonymous player poll for the most underrated, overrated, best coach poll results.
Okay.
So we have, I believe I counted them. I think it was 26 players get a vote in the underrated player. Now, they don't have to vote. So there was 151 total votes for the most underrated player in the league. Tied at 1 this year are Derek White and Jalen Johnson, who both received 4% of the votes, roughly about 6 votes.
Okay.
There was one son who appeared in the top 25.
Now we're talking.
Top 12, to be specific, receiving 2% of the votes, got about 3 votes.
This was what category again?
Most underrated player.
Colin Gillespie.
Colin Gillespie finished 12th with 2% of the vote. And the most overrated player. There was far less votes, only 81 votes cast. A runaway winner in this one. With
the most overrated player in the NBA?
Yes.
I have a name, but it's going to be...
Say it.
Nikola Jokic?
No.
Okay.
Jokic not on the list.
I thought some people would just go after Jokic.
Alfred Sengun, number 1, 12.3% of the vote.
Houston's in an interesting spot.
They are.
Don't know what they're going to do this summer. Made the big trade for KD. Bounced in the first round. KD was hurt in the postseason. He needs a new contract. Interesting times for Houston.
Really interesting times. There was a son that appeared on this list with 2.5% of the votes, received 2 votes for the most overrated player.
Book?
No.
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
It was one of the 2.
Yep. It was Dylan Brooks. Listen, you're that hated from around the league.
You're going to get on this list.
You're going to get on this list. And then last one they did, which is which current coach do you find the most impressive? There was kind of a runaway favorite here. 146 votes cast. I guess there was 2 runaway favorites. Joe Mazzulla, who won it, got 17.8% of the vote. Mark Daignault came in second with 15.8% of the vote.
I'm surprised that J.J. Redick wasn't up here.
J.J. Redick finished 8th with 4.8% of the vote behind
Jordan Knott,
who finished 5th with 6.8% of the vote.
I thought J.J. did a great job in L.A.
I got to tell you, I think he's done a really nice job.
That team, I think, exceeded expectations.
They may get swept in this series. They probably will.
It didn't look great last night.
It did not look great.
Got hurt, and they don't have Luka, so it's going to be LeBron and Reeves.
It did not look great, but I got to tell you, they're not in a bad spot. And I think he's done some really nice things. That's a lot of personality to deal with in that locker room. And to get what they've gotten out of LeBron and him to alter his role into something that he's never done before, that's a really, really nice job.
And that just shows the respect that he has for JJ.
For JJ. You almost needed a guy like JJ to come in and do that, right? Like a guy who's been around the league, who he's done podcasts with and stuff like that. A guy he can listen to, and then they'll bounce off each other.
Yeah, I think JJ's done an outstanding job. I know everyone clowned on the hire because he went from, ESPN to being the head coach, but he's done a great job.
I think he's done, a fantastic job. And I don't think that they are in trouble he's in trouble of losing his job at all. Lakers, more Lakers news. Unfortunately, still unsure on when Luka Doncic will return. It's looking like it won't be in this series.
So they're down him. Vanderbilt gets hurt last night. You have a LeBron that's older and is taking on a lot this season. Reeves just came back. I just don't see how they do it.
I don't either. It's just like, I'm sorry, that's maybe one of the best teams I've ever seen.
Did you see the video of the Oklahoma City bench reacting to Vanderbilt's injury?
No.
So there's a video that I saw on social media of the trainer coming out to look at Vanderbilt's hand, and it's like 3 or 4 Thunder players that just like immediately grimace and turn away, like they can't look at how bad the injury is. That's how bad it was.
Wow, I didn't realize how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was described after the game as a fracture. Let me look at what it's.
I mean, fractures can get
dislocated right pinky. But yeah, I mean, several players on the Thunder just turned away.
Yeah.
He needed stitches because the bone in his dislocated pinky finger broke skin. So that's probably what caused the reaction from the Thunder bench.
Yep. Because a dislocation like that can look so gross.
It can look nasty.
Bleacher Report wrote an article this morning. 5 underrated NFL players.
Oh, sorry.
You don't like Bleacher Report?
Sometimes their stories are a little.
I know. That's why they're fun. 5 underrated NFL players who will surprise with new teams in 2026.
So, okay. Sorry. You said Bleacher Report. My brain immediately ignored you. I'm sorry. I'm ready. I'm here. Give it to me again.
5 underrated NFL players who will surprise with their new teams in 2026.
Underrated players
that have changed teams.
So we've got a lot going on. They've got to be underrated. They've got to have changed teams, and they're going to surprise this year.
Yes.
I've got 2 minutes.
You are not going to guess
I've got
any.
2 minutes to try to figure this out. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Number 5, fullback, Patrick Ricard. of the New York Football Giants.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing, Bleacher Report.
Number 4, I actually like this one. Wide receiver Jalen Naylor, Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
I think he could play nicely.
Hold on. I got you.
Number 3. You don't like that? You think he's number 3 over there?
No. You're up to the 3rd name on the list.
Oh, number 3.
So I was setting you up.
Tight end, Chig Okonkwo, Washington Commanders.
Okay.
I think that's a good one, too.
That's not bad.
Number 4. I don't... it's the defensive tackle Tonga for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm proud of you for understanding your limitations and not trying to butcher somebody's name.
Yes.
Proud of you.
Thank you. I've always been self-aware.
If you don't know the name, you just got to admit, hey, I don't know how to pronounce this name. I'm not going to try.
That one's going to eat me up.
I'm not going to try because I don't want to butcher his name.
And the last one, this one gets interesting. Safety Brian Cook, Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, they just need somebody to produce out in that room.
I was going to say, if he's surprising, they could be decent.
Well, because their defense has just been so bad the last couple of years.
So bad.
Oh, brutal.
And last thing I got for you last night was the NHL draft lottery.
Oh, what a scam this was.
And the controversy has started.
So first of all, Toronto, and I don't need to explain this to anybody
and
here. Because anybody that's listening to this show knows what Toronto just did.
And I will start with, by the way, that the player coming out at number 1, like people say he's that good, that generational, that coveted.
So they hire a GM. Everybody is going to know this name when I say it. They hired John Chayka, who was last seen making a mess of things here in Arizona. They get obliterated in the media. Go look at some of the press conference questions that they got asked when they introduced John Chayka. They got destroyed. And then they had the 5th best odds, and they lucked their way into the number 1 pick. Do you know that I think it's been in the last 20 years, they've missed the playoffs twice, both years. They've gotten the number 1 pick. It's going to do it for us. Wednesday edition in the books. Jim Rome coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.
AM 1060 KDUS.